Hey, all you beautiful folks out there. So I just wanted to share my heart with you tonight. And it all kind of centers around one specific topic. And that topic is how one change in a mindset that we have, or one shift or bend in our lives, can make all the difference in the world. I hope my mom isn't embarrassed that I'm sharing this, but I feel like that she would want positive change that's happened in her life, if possible, to impact the lives of others. So I'm going to go ahead and share. Sorry, Mom. So my mom decided, now number one, my mother's always been a very active person. She's always been pretty fit for the most part. But a number of years ago, she put down cigarettes and she put on a good amount of weight. And you know what? We don't really get wrapped up in pounds or what the medicine standard says you should weigh and that kind of thing. It's just more so how able-bodied are you and how capable are you to get around. So I'm sure she would agree, because we've talked about it, I know she does, that she was living in a body that didn't necessarily reflect outwardly what was going on the inside. And so she began to think differently about activity and about the types of things that she was putting in her body nutrition-wise. And she's lost some 30-something pounds since January. Now, she's not starved herself, and she's not killed herself doing a ton of cardio. Number one, she can't really do a lot of super heavy pounding cardio because she's got all kinds of issues in her back. Now, how this one shift in mindset positively impacted her life is, you can imagine, if you've got blown discs and issues with your neck and bone spurs in your spine and all of these major deteriorations of your skeletal structure, you can imagine that if you put extra weight on top of that, it makes the issue even bigger. It makes the problem larger, and it affects you more. And so as my mother, my beautiful mother, I'm so proud of her. She's amazing and glorious. As she began to shed those extra pounds that she didn't need, she began to get more agile. And even though she still had all those same injuries, she was able to go outside, get involved with her chickens, go out and feed the horses. And we rode the four-wheeler not too long ago together. Those are things she never would have done. Now, the most exciting part is my mother's always had a garden, as long as I can remember, partially because, and I know she won't be embarrassed about this either, partially because we didn't have just a ton of dough whenever I was growing up. And so, of course, we grew our own food. I had no idea that we were not super wealthy. I thought we were the richest people on earth. But we had this amazing garden the whole time I was growing up. And it's just been natural for her to grow her own food. And as she got the extra weight on and just wasn't able to move around as much, she wasn't able to do that. And we went over there for Mother's Day. She took me outside and she showed me her burning bushes that she planted and all of these really cool bushes down the side, and showed me this big, huge garden that she had planted and these holes that she had dug herself. Now, if I had asked her a year ago if she could have done all that, I promise you she would have said no. And she couldn't have, based on her fit and activity level at the time. So that one shift gave her her life back. Second example of this very same thing happening is for my daughter. For 4 years, had a relationship that was not good for her. And we can all attest to knowing something isn't good for us, but sticking it out anyhow, can't we? I know I can. And for 4 years, she kind of did that back and forth thing. And when she'd finally had enough, she walked away for good. And within just a very short amount of time, her peace, her rest, her happiness, her joy, all the things that had been stifled in that relationship returned. They were there all along, but the distraction of the poisonous relationship kept her from seeing that goodness. And she's just rocking out being the absolute coolest mom to my granddaughter, Liberty. And she got a job and she's working out and she's just centered again. The one choice to walk away from a negative relationship changed everything for her. For me, it was alcohol. I've been off and on, drinking here, not drinking here, taking a year off, not doing it, doing it, doing it, drinking too much, wanting to drink, not drinking. And October the 28th was the last drink that I had, and I can tell you that while someone else may not struggle with alcohol, for me, I just never saw that it brought me life. It never brought me goodness. It always started out good, but it never really always ended very good. That one shift changed everything. I had no idea that going out on the weekends with my friends and listening to live music and having 4 or 5 beers or some shots here and there, I had no idea that that was clouding my mind. It was clouding my emotions. It was clouding my determination and drive. It was clouding everything. And when that one thing was pushed to the side and a new focus was taken, it changed everything. I feel like I have my life back. I'm going on some 190 days sober. And I had no idea that that one thing could impact so much. I don't know that my mom knew that that one thing could impact so much. And I don't know that my daughter necessarily knew that that one thing could impact so much. So what's your one thing? Like, I want you to really think about it. Think about the things that happen in your daily walk, the things that you're involved in. It doesn't necessarily have to be food or a bad relationship or alcohol. Maybe it's something that nobody even knows about. Maybe it's just something that keeps your mind distracted. That one thing can make all the difference in the world. And your life is waiting on you. So I encourage you to take that one thing and go get your life. I love you so much. Figure out your one thing.